Welcome back to From the Sinner's Mouth podcast. Yes, we're all sinners, but try not to be. So, today's topic is going to be about the absolutely ridiculous fucking struggle it is sometimes to die to yourself. I don't really have like a format, but the past couple of days have been pretty like rough, let's just say. Um, and it comes from just different things. It comes from feeling like no matter what I do, it's never enough. It comes from, and it's part of my mentality, I think, in a sense. Like, I don't think I'll ever be fully satisfied. It's a constant grind and struggle to try to become better. And like, I have wonderful days, and I'm just like, man, this day was amazing. Like, you know, thank God was with me all day long. Like gave me so much strength and like we made today like our bitch. Like it was fantastic. And then it's like then I have days where like I did that and then I'm like, okay, I can do that, but I have to do it better, right? And then if I have anything short of that, it's just like, what the fuck did I do with my life today? Like the other day, yesterday, for example, I I just couldn't for the life of me like work. I didn't want to work. I mean, I worked a bit, I did some, but like nowhere near like what I wanted to accomplish. And like it was like around noon yesterday, and I made a blatant choice to fail. So, um, I listened to this podcast from Andy Frisella, and it talks about like he's like, what did you do for the last 1,000 days? Did you execute? Did you execute the highest level? Like what did you do? And so he has this thing called the power list where essentially you have five critical tasks for the day. And with those critical tasks, if you complete all five, you win the day. And it doesn't really matter what else you do, but there's five critical tasks, things that need to move the needle. And if you don't complete a single task, you fail the day. And so, see you later, dude. Um, So I had two critical tasks that were work related, and I just like I sat down to do them multiple times, and I just couldn't move forward with it. And part of that, I think, for me too, is like I don't like to blame stuff on things, but like I have ADHD, and I've been always like self-medicating. So I was like, I would smoke weed, or I would smoke cigarettes, or drink, or do other things to try to like manage this thing because I never wanted to take medication. I was like, I don't want to go take methamphetamines to like try to calm and regulate my brain. So with that being said, um, I have cut those things out a little over 2 months ago. I met a guy who basically put a different perspective. He's like, hey, ADHD is a superpower, and you got to learn how to manage it. And it's kind of hard at first, but like you got to cut out substances. So I was like, okay, so I cut it all out. I even like cut out coffee, and it's a struggle. Like it was a really big struggle, because I'd never knew how to like just sit with myself. I never knew how to like sit in silence, and it was something that was very difficult for me. But I kind of like really just dove in and tried to learn what it was like to rely on God, and it just opened up my eyes a lot to what that really means, and to learn to rely on his strength and to pray and to have him take things away, and I felt so much growth. um and part of the beauty of it is the days are long because it's so many emotions and so many things that process and go through my mind. Like I've dated someone before where I was telling them, "Oh, I process things quickly," and they're like, "No way." And then like I was taking notes of like a fraction of what was going through my mind in a single day, and I remember like just showing it to them like raw and unedited, and they were like, "Oh my goodness, like that is you. This is all one day. Like this is what goes through your mind in one day." And I was like, "It's only a portion of what went through my mind today." And so the days have been really long lately. Like a single day feels like a week, and um and yesterday was one of those days. Yesterday was one I mean, they're all like that, but yesterday was one of those days where It was all these things that were reminding me of like past people in my life, and just in different ways. And it's just a really heavy day. It was a really heavy day. I could not focus on work, and I was like, okay, I can't just like sit here and do nothing all day. And like I prayed and I did those things, and I was asking God for help. But sometimes like it's not that He doesn't help you. Sometimes these are just the things that you need to go through, and He's like, no, you're exactly where I want you to be, and I need you to go through and sit through this stuff. And I was just like, "Well, I wanna physically do nothing and just sit around all day," so I was like, "I wanna finish the Bible." I think I read, like, oh, man, s excuse me, 60 something pages of the Bible yesterday, like, which is for anyone who's reading the Bible, that's a lot. Like, it's like 100 pages. So it's a lot of reading to do in a day, and I was just like, "I'm gonna finish this." So I would sit down and read, and for anyone who knows me, reading the Bible, especially sitting down, oh my goodness, the amount of hours that I've probably slept more hours than I have actually reading because I'll try to read like a couple chapters and I'm just out cold. It's weird. I'll be reading and I'm like wired. I'm like, yeah, I'm amped. And then all of a sudden I just wake up 30 minutes later, like, shit, what happened? so uh so I'm surprised that I read the Bible starting in February to now. But anyhow, it was a rough day yesterday, and I have a friend of mine who will have us staying with me, and he can kind of tell like something was going on. He's like, "All right, man." He's like, "Let me hear it. What's going on? Tell me about these things you have going through your mind." So I like talked to him at length about it, and I was just explaining to him, and then um he was kind of saying like he asked me a question, and I don't exactly remember what the question was, but it was something along the lines of like, "Doesn't it feel good to like just trust God and like, just kind of like rely on him and do that?" And he's like, "Do you find yourself doing that?" And I was like, sometimes I do. I was like, but yesterday I was like, I wasn't. I was very impatient. Um, I was like, I want to be married. I want to have a family. Like everything I've worked towards in my life has led to me trying to prepare myself to have a family, and I've had incredible women that God has placed in my life and in different ways, and like it just didn't work out. And a lot of it's me too. Like I'll admit that, absolutely. Like I wasn't patient enough or whatever, and sometimes there's just like you don't really understand, but like God pulls you away from things and you really don't know why. um but it just happens. And how did I say this? I don't I don't like it. Like, I don't like that God has told me that I need to be single for the rest of this year. I constantly, almost on a daily basis, I'm like, "Did I hear you correctly? Like, did you actually tell me that?" And then every time I, like, start, like, I'm like, "Oh, maybe not." And then I'm like, "Oh, fuck," I feel this conviction that, like, no, like, this is what he wants. And, like or, like, I'm like, "Okay, I think I'm good." And then I realize quickly I'm not. And it's just this constant reminders, and I'm like, "Fuck, I know." It's like, but I have to trust that his plan for me is so much greater. But it's also like, is your purpose for me to be single and stay single forever? Like, I'd rather you just tell me that, because if you just like tell me, I'm be like, well, fuck, then I have to just like learn how to get rid of this idea altogether. Right. And then like, but there's a part of me that's just holding on, and I know I need to release it. I know I need to release it to him, because if I don't release it to him, he won't bless me. Right. And I also know that there's so much more that I need to go through and I need to grow through to actually get to the point where like I think I'm truly prepared to not just to live the life that I want, but like to have the family dynamic that I want. Like I don't want a normal basic fucking life. Like most people are fine with like an average life, and most people are fine with just like kind of going through the day to day and the motions and those things. Like I don't want that fucking life. I never have. Like I've never been satisfied with that. Like no, the moments are great. Like, I wanna do weird shit. Like, I want God to send me on a fucking adventure, and I wanna take my family with me. Like, I want a partner that's going to be down for that. Like, I don't want someone that's like, oh, I just want to like just do nothing all the time and like not have any ambition or be scared to like take a risk. Like I'm scared enough as it is to take certain risks. Like I don't need two of that. I need, I want to help me. I want to know that someone's there to like support me as I go through this like journey, and I want to support them. Like this is not a one way street by any means. Like in my opinion, it's my duty to serve, right? But I serve best when I have someone around me that I can like go to recharge. And I've experienced this, and it was incredible. I was like, wow, like this is something that I really needed to experience and go through to like see what I needed. And I realized like outside of that, I'm like, oh, like that's kind of counterintuitive. Like, yeah, it sounds good, but it doesn't help me recharge when I need to. But yes, yesterday it was rough, and all I wanted to do, all I wanted to do was, 'cause I was just frustrated. I was just like, damn it, God, like, why are you withholding from me? Why are you not giving me these things? Why are you putting me through these challenges and tribulations and these trials? Like, I don't want to go through this. I just want what I want. I want it now, right? Like, I want it now, and I want it on my time, and I want you to have a girl walk up to my door and just be like, "I'm gonna be your wife," and I'm like, "Yes, finally, thank you, God, for putting this girl in my life, and let's just do it," right? But I need to go through this stuff, and that's the most frustrating part. Is like I feel like I've been a fairly disciplined person in a lot of ways. Like if you talk to some of my friends of mine, they're like, Gilbert's always going to be very disciplined. Like I'm consistently inconsistent, right? Like I'm consistently trying to be better and trying to grow, and I constantly am changing and pivoting. So like if I realize, oh, this is just isn't working for me, like then I change or pivot. Like I have friends who are just incredible human beings, but like they do the same like three things, and they've been doing the same three things for like the last 10, 15 years, and they just love it. And they're gonna keep doing those same three things for the next 15 years, and they're gonna love it. Like they don't need to do anything different. I have multiple people in my life that are like that. I'm not wired that way. Like I like different stuff. I like, it's pickleball at this point. It's this on this. It's golf, over here. It's whatever it is, and it's like I'm constantly changing, and I understand from like a female's perspective, that's fucking terrifying, right? Like, oh my God, like you like me now, but are you gonna like me later? Like it's a scary thing, you know? And and when I think about like even like the pursuit of God, right? Like me pursuing God and just I know I'm gonna pursue him, but like there's moments where I turn away, right? Like there's moments where I fuck up and I'm like and I'm frustrated like this where I'm like I don't want to do this thing. I don't want to serve you the way you want me to serve you. I don't want to be joyous or joyful in this moment of a trial, right? Like I know I've been through enough hard shit throughout my life that like I'm going to be better on the other end, but when you're going through it, it sucks. And it just feels like I've been going through trial after trial after trial after trial after trial for like the last year and a half. And I mean, and I don't think it's going to stop because I know that God is like preparing me for something. And what it is, I have no idea. Maybe it's just a family. Maybe it's something crazy, right? Like, but I'm just trying to listen the best I can. But fuck, I fight it, man. I am so stubborn sometimes, and I wanted to do everything else but do what I know I needed to do. Like, and I read the Bible, and to be honest, like I wasn't even really fully like very relieved. Like I thought like I was relieved. Like I was like, oh, I'm glad I finally did it. But I was more disappointed in myself than anything because although I got that task accomplished, I failed the day because I made a conscious choice around noon to not do what I know I needed to do, and it cost me it cost me the momentum that I was starting to build. And I mean, I had just started this 1,000 days thing, like 4 days ago. Today I got back on track, and I'm going to complete the day. I have one more task to do, and I will complete it. But outside of that, like it is just didn't want to do it. And then today, um, I I was like, I need to get more dialed in because I've been putting in all this work in my health and fitness and stuff like that, and they're making a lot of excuses. But I'm like, okay, I need to be very, very intentional and conscious about what I'm putting into my body. And so it's just like more and more and more layers of like surrender and to different things, right? Like surrendering my body to God, like, all right, God, like make me into a high functioning, high capacity, you know, machine for you, right? And to serve you and to serve people and to be an example the best I can, not just in what I say and not just in what I do, but like how I live my life in every way. And it's fucking uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable because people don't. A lot of people, most people don't do this shit. Everyone's fucking fat, like everywhere. Like I, I'm surrounded by it. I live in San Antonio. Charles Barkley has a hilarious like clip about it, and like it's hard work, but it's so worth it. Anyhow, I go and I get this stuff and I text my dad and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna try the carnivore diet, and he's like, don't fucking try. He's like, it's a lifestyle. It's a decision. It's a decision you have to make, and it's a lifestyle. So either live it or don't. And I'm so grateful that I have like men like that in my life who are gonna challenge me and push me because he's right. It's a fucking choice. Go make the choice and go do it. Don't be a bitch about it and figure it out, or don't do it and then I don't want to hear about it. And all day today, I went and bought this stuff last night online. I picked it up this morning and I had it in my fridge, and I was like, I need to cut it up and all this stuff. All I wanted to do today was go get a fucking pizza and get a soda. And I was like, all right, well, since I'm gonna go do this and I'm gonna cut all this stuff out of my life, like I want to go like have one last hurrah. I want to go get my Little Caesars with my cheesy jalapeno dips, and I want to get a Dr. Pepper, and I just want to fucking veg out, and I want to have pizza, right? I just want to go eat pizza, smash on a pizza. And I just my flesh and my body and my mind were like pizza, 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 over and over and over again, all day. And I was just sitting there like, I know if I go get this fucking pizza, my body's gonna hate me. I'm gonna regret it tomorrow. I'm gonna regret it the moment I finish eating it because I'm like, this is gross, and I feel fucking gross. Like I knew I was, and I only know I was because I have been disciplined the last, few months and doing better. And then even like a week ago, I was like, I got to start cutting out juices and sugar and some of these things. Like I've been turning down pastries when there's been incredibly delicious pastries around. Like I'm like, it smells so good. And like I'm just like, man, am I never gonna have sweets again? Like the idea of never sounds crazy. So I really try to shy away from never because I'm like, if I fail, I don't want to like completely like hate myself. Um, but at the same time, like I'm like, well, what do I really need that? I don't need those things. I want those things. But like denying your flesh is not easy. I would rather fast for 3 days straight, okay, and not eat any food at all than be like, oh, I'm just not gonna have any sweets for a week, like while I'm eating. It's crazy. Like it's hard. It's hard, and for some reason it's easier to fast. I think it's just like no food, and it's like okay, and like that just sucks. And I'm just more worried about being hungry than like, oh, I can eat, but like I've been eating all this protein, and all I want to do is just eat like sweet. I want dessert. My body's screaming at me like, feed me sugar. And I'm like, no, I need to cut that out. Like I need to cut it out. And so it's going to be very interesting tomorrow and like for the next week because I went and bought like a chuck roll and cut it up. So I have meat, eggs, and bacon, and that's what I'm gonna have every day for like the next 8 days. And I'm excited to see what it's gonna feel like and look like, and I'm sure it's gonna suck. I've heard that you're like gonna be on the bathroom like with diarrhea for the first, couple days to a week. So I'm sure I'll go through that. I had potatoes and white rice with some butter with my steak tonight. But over the next few days, like it's just gonna be the meat and water, and it's just gonna be like, all right, let's see how this goes. Like I'm excited for the challenges, and like I'm through this whole process, it's oddly enough, like I'm more and more and more and more craving the challenges, although it fucking sucks going through it. Like I don't want to be in it. I want to do everything that I'm not supposed to do. I want like to actually today, or was it today? Hey, I was today. I wanted to go get a pizza. I want to get a Dr. Pepper.
Okay. I wanted to get a beer. I wanted to go sit outside, smoke some weed, and go have a cigarette and go do all of the things that I let go of. Right. I want to go fucking hit up some girl or whatever and do some things or have her come over or whatever. I want to do all the things that I've been trying to avoid because it's like when you're going to that next layer of discomfort, like in the sense of like releasing something or surrendering something to God, it's like the enemy's like right there and like, hey, oh, you want to let this go now? Well, I'm gonna bring up every fucking thing else that I know you used to love, right? Or I know you want, and I know it's gonna feel great. Like, don't worry, it's just one day. It's just one day of eating pizza. It's one day of doing these things and vegging out and all that stuff. You're just gonna feel. It's gonna feel amazing. Like you're gonna feel so good. Like imagine the taste of the pizza going in your mouth. Imagine like how good it's gonna be to wash it down with a Dr Pepper and a beer. And like, man, if you smoke some weed, like you're gonna have the munchies. You're gonna be able to eat even more. Like it's gonna be so nice, and the cigarette's gonna like mellow you out. And then, if you got a nice girl on your arm, like, and something happens tonight, like, cool. Like, it's going to feel amazing. Like, it's all right. You can just say no tomorrow, right? And you can say no from then on. But I know better. Like, I know better because I've messed up in the past. Like, over what I think was is what since like December 25th was when I fully like surrendered to God. I've been trying to cut things out, and I've messed up since then. I absolutely have. And it's like, oh man, like this is kind of crazy, Like I know what's good for me and what isn't. Um, I'm much more clear now on these things, and God is absolutely guiding me. And I like my mess ups are so much smaller. Like December 25th was the last day that I had sex, but I've done other things since then, right? But even like recently, like I was looking at things I shouldn't look at, and I requested these things, and I jacked off, and I felt so guilty. I felt worse than what I felt like when maybe not worse because yeah, I felt pretty bad the last day I had sex. Like I remember getting on my hands and knees and like crying out to the Lord, like take this away from me. Like can't do this anymore. Um, but I felt really bad like about doing that, and like when you talk to a normal person, like it's not that big, like not that big a deal. You just jacked off. You talk to me, and I'm like, shit. You what? There's no girl involved. That like you just jacked off, and I feel like, who cares? But no, it's wrong. Like, and I know it's wrong, and I feel it. Like I feel it in my heart. It's wrong, and it was eating at me a bit. And I'm glad I finally went to confession and I confessed, and then I took the Eucharist, and I just felt so much grace and love from God. But it was like, okay, like one more, right? Like on my arm, I have one more, like one more layer of discomfort, right? One more rep in the gym, one more push, one more phone call for work, which yesterday was a moot point. I didn't make any phone calls yesterday. I think I talked on the phone a little bit, but it's just one of those things that it's all this to say it sucks and it's not easy. And for anyone that's like going through this process, all I can say is the amount of change that has happened in the last year and a half since God came into my life is absolutely fucking incredible. Like incredible. And I already know like a year and a half from now, I'm gonna be a different person because I'm gonna continue dying to myself. And I'm gonna look back and be like, I'm so glad that I dove in. I have to remember to give myself grace, but I think like a lot of like how hard I am on myself is good in the sense of I it makes me stick to things better, and I know that I have not been reaching my own potential for a long time. Honestly, like I know I have moments where I do, and I think like my my average effort is generally like I would say better than other people's, maybe like maximum effort. Um, but then there's people who are just like that for me, like their average effort is better than my best effort, right? And so I need to like continue to level up because there's levels to this shit, and I need to hit the levels and go live the life that I say I want. Because if I don't do that, I don't get what I want. I don't have the life that I want. Um, and so this is just all kind of part of it. It's just like more and more and more and more intention, um, more dying to myself, and more the just the heaviest pursuit of God that I can think of. Like it's been really cute. I went to mass and a couple holy hours, and I've had a couple old ladies. They're like, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" And I'm like, "Sure." They're like, "I don't really see young people, in here like coming to like mass on a Wednesday at 7 and like staying for a holy hour or going to mass in the morning. Like, what makes you so faithful?" And it was both times I was just like, God, like God has been just absolutely working wonders in my life, and it's such a privilege to be able to go to mass every day. And I try to make it happen, like, and I failed at it, and I will continue to fail at that at times. But like, it's such a privilege to go take the Eucharist and to go take His body and blood and soul and divinity, and I don't want to like lose that. Like, I get to start my day with God and like be with Him and be one with Him and have Him with me. Like, that's an incredible thing. Like, I don't ever want to lose that. Um, so yeah, I mean, that's really all I got today. But thank you, thank you all for coming listening. And from the sinner's mouth, yes, we're all sinners, but try not to be. Take care, everybody. Until next time.